Hello, this is Kevin Smith, the pastor of Sanders Chapel United Methodist Church, Couley United Methodist Church, and First United Methodist Church of Winnfield, Louisiana. And yes, it really is me, even though I might look a little different from some of the previous videos. If you've watched them, I actually had the opportunity to have my hair cut for the first time in over 2 months. And it's just one small sign that we are returning to some sense of normalcy after so many days of being under a stay-at-home order here in Louisiana. And that's what I wanted to come and talk to you about, is now that the stay-at-home order has been lifted and we are moving into phase 1 of re-entry and reopening here in Louisiana, I wanted to come and tell you a little bit about what this means for the 3 churches that I serve here in Wynn Parish. A couple of notes in the description. You're going to find the Louisiana Office of State Fire Marshal's guidelines, and so those will be available to you, as well as a link to the regulations and the guidelines from the Louisiana Annual Conference and our bishop. And so those are going to be available to you to kind of help you decide, and we use those as part of our guidance in making our plan for reopening. Now, before I get too deep into what the plan is, I want you to know that everybody is in a different place with this thing. That there are some people who are ready to get back to the way it was, and there are others who are understandably nervous about what the future holds. As one who has lost a family member to the virus, I know personally how dangerous and deadly that it can be. So wherever you are, we want you to know that it's okay, that we love you, that God loves you, and that we don't want you to feel any pressure to gather for worship. That we are still going to continue to record the worship services and still continue to post them online for you to view if you are uncomfortable with gathering in person. And so that will be available to you. It probably will be a little bit later that we will record on Sunday morning. I'll then edit it and upload it, and it'll probably be Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening before those are available to you. But I do want you to know that I don't want you to feel any pressure to come to worship if you are not ready. And especially do not come to worship if you are sick. And so all of those things being said, I want to go over with you our plan. Now, this is a different time, so it's going to demand some different things. And so our plan is on May 24th to have one service for all 3 churches, 9 a.m. at Couley United Methodist Church. This will be an outdoor service that I will be on the front porch of Couley, and the speakers will be out. You'll be invited to drive up in your vehicles and park under the trees or park in the parking lot, or if you want to bring some lawn chairs and put them out where you are, then that's fine also. One of the important things is going to be for us to maintain our distance. That it'd be great for us to wave at someone and speak to them and tell them that we miss them, but we don't want to have physical contact. That yes, it's awkward, and yes, it's different than the way we've ever done it before, but that's the way that it must be right now in order for us to keep one another safe. May 24th is Aldersgate Sunday, and it's going to be a different kind of service for a different kind of service. That we're going to have a very special guest from the other side come and talk to us about what Aldersgate Sunday is, what it means, and what it has to do with an outdoor type of worship service. I think it'll be interesting and different. I hope that you'll join us. It will be a shorter, compressed service. I'm hoping that the service will be in the neighborhood of 30 to 45 minutes, about what we've been doing for the videos, and it will be very different. That there will be no congregational singing. There's going to be very little music, and that's just the way that it has to be right now, because the scientists tell us that the virus can spread very quickly in a situation like that. So we want to gather for worship, but we want to keep your safety highest and first and foremost in our minds. So that will be May 24th, one service, 9 a.m. at Couley United Methodist Church outside. And then on May 31st, we will gather for one service again for all three churches at First United Methodist Church of Winnfield at 11 a.m. in the Family Life Center in the gym. As part of phase one, we can only have a small fraction of our space and of our capacity. In our sanctuary at First Methodist, that would be about 50 persons. But in the gym, in the Family Life Center, that capacity is about 90 persons. And we can space out the seating to where we can maintain the proper distance and the proper separation from one another. Whereas in the sanctuary, we would have to close pews and encourage you to sit in places that you aren't used to sitting. And so we decided to make everyone sit in a place that is different and to meet in the Family Life Center. Of course, May 31st is also Pentecost. And so we will be remembering what it was like for those disciples to come together and to gather in one place as we look forward to doing on May 31st, which is Pentecost. Now, a couple of things that I want to mention: that mask will be required. So please wear a mask if you have one. I will be wearing a mask except to take it off to lead worship. And so mask will be required. We will have some available if you do not have a mask, but we want to encourage you to wear a mask if at all possible. We will also have hand sanitizer for you as you come into worship. We will not be doing things like passing an offering plate. Instead, we'll have the offering plate available at several different stations if you would like to make a gift to the church. Also, the Family Life Center doors will be clearly marked, enter and exit. So we're going to try to create one-way traffic to where you come in one door and you go out another. And so we don't want these gathering places where we group together. So we're going to try to create a smooth entrance and exit process, and so be looking for that. And so we wanted you to be aware of what the plan is for the next 2 weeks: May 24th at Couley, 9 a.m., May 31st at First Methodist in the Family Life Center at 11 a.m., and then we are hoping that on June 7th we can shoot to resume a normal schedule. Sanders at 8:30, Couley at 9:30, First Methodist Winnfield at 11 a.m., and hopefully we'll be able to meet in our sanctuary. Now, it may not look the same, that there will be some things that we've done in the past that we may not be able to do at that point, like maybe sit in the same spots that we always have, or maybe sing, or maybe pass the offering plate, that some of those processes may have to change. But we are hoping and praying to be back into our sanctuaries on June the 7th. Also, there will be no inside, in-person small group meetings until at least after phase 2. So that means Sunday school classes and other small group classes that you will not meet inside face-to-face. Instead, we would encourage you to meet via Zoom or some other way until after phase 2. Necessary distancing will be observed, as well as the attendance limits that have been put into place by the Louisiana State Fire Marshal. I know it is our custom to offer communion on the first Sunday of the month. We have not quite figured out how we are going to do communion in this new world of coronavirus. And so we will not be offering communion on June the 7th. Instead, hopefully we will look toward July to resume communion. Once again, we want to encourage you to wear a mask. That if you do not have a mask at Couley Church and at First Methodist, that we will have masks available for you. I will be wearing a mask except to lead worship, and so I hope that you will do the same. And so I want to look forward to seeing your masked, smiling face out there. Gathering places are particularly dangerous. They are particularly good places for the virus to spread, which is what we do not want. So no coffee will be available at First Methodist Church. We will have no First Sunday lunch on June the 7th. And at Couley, the fellowship brunch will be suspended for the time being. Hand sanitizer will be available and its use is encouraged. And once again, it's one of those things that it doesn't do us any good unless we use it. We will also have soap available for you in all bathrooms, and so we want to encourage you to please limit the spread of germs and the virus as much as possible. Before you come to worship, you need to ask yourself, do I have the COVID-19 virus? Is anyone in my household have the virus or has been diagnosed with it? Or have I been in contact with anyone who has the virus? Do I have a cough? Have I had a fever in the last 24 hours? And if the answer is yes to those questions, then you should not come to in-person worship. Instead, we'd love to invite you to join us for the recorded version of the message. That it will be online for you. So just wait and watch it then, and please take care of yourself and get the medical help that you need. I know it is our custom to, especially in small churches, to give out big hugs and to shake someone's hands. Unfortunately, those customs of physical contact will need to be suspended for now. I know we miss seeing one another, and I know we want that physical contact, but it simply is not the wisest decision at this point. For one another's safety, we need to refrain from physical contact. We will not be doing things as usual, that we will not be passing the offering plate. We will be trying to find ways to limit contact with things like doors, and there will probably be no bulletins. And so it's going to look differently, but we can still look forward to gathering together. The First Methodist Church office, like many of the offices and businesses in the region, we are slowly beginning to phase back into where we were before. During phase 1, we have decided to be open about 2 days a week. We have decided to be open on Monday and Thursday from 8 to 3. Now, on the week of Memorial Day, we will be closed on Monday but open on Tuesday. So that week will be Tuesday and Thursday. But should you need to reach me during hours that the office is not open, you can always call my cell phone. You can send me an email or a text. So I want you to know that I'm available to you at all times whenever you need me. So that's the plan right now. I must tell you that I thought the decision to cancel church and to suspend in-person worship was a difficult one. I think this one may have been just as difficult about when to come back and how to do it safely. I have come to believe that there is no right choice. It is simply the best decision that can be made among many less than perfect choices. I want you to be able to come to worship. I miss seeing you. I miss talking with you. I know that you miss it also. But I want to do it as safely as possible. I would hate for someone to end up in the hospital, or worse, simply because they came to church. And whatever your decision is, to come to in-person worship or to stay home, know that that is your decision. That is the right decision for you, that we want you to seek God and to make a wise decision. That if you are in the at-risk group, if you are among the older group, if you are still uncomfortable with the idea of returning to in-person worship and large groups, it is okay to stay home. Hopefully, prayerfully, one day this thing will be over soon, and maybe we can return to something like what life was before. Most of all, we want you to know that we love you, we care for you, we are praying for you, and we look forward to seeing you in church soon. If that's on the 24th, if that's on the 31st, if it's on another day. But most of all, we want you to know that God loves you and we do too. And so we hope and pray that you will join us if you would like, or simply watch us online. But most of all, continue to find a way to grow your faith even during this difficult time. For we know that God has not left us, that God still loves us, God still cares for us, that God is still with us. Before he left this earth, Jesus said, "And lo, I am with you always, even to the very end of the age." And so no matter what happens, the good news for us is that Jesus Christ is with us. We love you, we care for you, we're praying for you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you, and we'll see you later.